Hello, I know it's been a long time, but the truth shall always set you free. This is Tim. Let's get off my lawn. The mad ramblings of the Gen Xer. We want to talk about the riots in LA, the insurrection. We also want to talk about the movie Lilo and Stitch. Or I should rephrase that, the remake of Lilo and Stitch, because, you know, like with Disney, there's so many ways that they can fuck shit up. Well, they did a great job on this one. Yeah, the movie's going to make $1 bazillion. But it's just not the right story. Speaking of $1 bazillion, oh, that's the type of property damage that's being caused right now over in LA. I'm trying to fathom this. And you watch the videos, you see everything that's going on. You see the people rioting, you see the people burning things, and you see these flags. You see the Guatemalan flag, the Mexican flag, all flying over America. These are people who risked everything to come into this country illegally because they did not go through the port of entries, which would be the proper process to claim asylum. They did not do these things. They went over the border. They snuck. They wasn't like the Taco Bell Chihuahua. They didn't run for the border. They snuck over the border. They came into this country, filed knowingly a false asylum claim, because something like 97% of all asylum claims are denied. So what does ICE do? ICE decides, and Trump decides, you know what? We got to get some of these people out. These are the worst of the worst. We're getting out the pedophiles, the rapists, the murderers, the thieves, the drug dealers. And for some reason, the Democrats, Gavin Newsom, who just basically created political suicide, disagrees with this. I know. It's shocking. We can't do this. These people came here for the right reason. Well, now they're flying the Mexican flag, the Guatemalan flag, and all these other flags as they riot. And I'm still trying to figure this out. You're escaping political persecution to file an asylum claim in the United States, illegally, of course. And you are going to riot because ICE is deporting people who shouldn't be, who are here, who are criminals. So your idea is to burn the American flag and fly the flag of the country that you're fleeing. So you're being politically persecuted. You have this threat of harm. So what you're going to do is you're going to fly the flag of the country that you are fleeing. And you're going to attack the people that you want to have them take you in and be a part of the society by attacking law enforcement, burning the American flag while you fly the flag of the country that you are fleeing political persecution from.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Okay, someone's got to explain. And the Democrats, Gavin Newsom, Maxine Waters, Cory Booker, all these other nuts are okay with this. And I love it because you have the likes of Maxine Waters, who's like, I don't see anyone rioting. What are you talking about? There's no riots. Those things that you see on television, that didn't really happen. That's deep fakes. Well, I don't think she called it deep fakes, but she literally did come out and say, I don't know what people are talking about. You know, there's no riot. It's all peaceful. You see people in the streets ripping up the sidewalks to find weapons to throw at law enforcement. You see sections. I love this because, you know, the news media is everywhere. You see these sections where people are dropping off cinder blocks to be used as projectiles to attack law enforcement. Now, I know when I'm fleeing political persecution and I'm going to the country that, you know, that I want to be a part of, the first thing I do is burn their flag and riot. But you know what I do that? I need a new iPhone because I'm going to record this. I need a new iPhone 16. So what I'm going to do when I'm fighting the authority, when I'm going against everything I want to be a part of, I go loot the Apple store. Because you know, I need that new iPhone. You know what? And to get away from the police and to get away from ICE, I got to go loot the Nike store. Of course, all this makes sense. Because if you don't loot these places, how are you going to flee the police if you can't run fast? So you need some new Nikes. Are these political agitators, professional political agitators? Of course. Are there certain segments of the people that are just trying to take advantage of this? Of course. Is it a small segment of the population that is doing this? Of course. These are all basic questions. And the basic answers is yes, of course. Is this a way to reach a political means for some because they want to have this type of insurrection? Listen, if California wants to go back to Mexico, you can go. People will say, well, California has the fourth largest, economy in the world. Okay, great. They also have the most debt, and they need to be bailed out constantly by the government. So they want to go back to Mexico. Go back to Mexico. We don't need you. I'm going to do like they do in the Bugs Bunny cartoons. I'm going to get a really big fucking saw, and I'm going to start from the top, and I'm going to cut the country off and have it float out like in Escape from L.A. with Kurt Russell. Why not? Because of the fact that they don't care about law and order. They don't care about the citizens that are being terrorized. They don't care about the police officers. I love these peaceful protests as they storm highways and burn vehicles. That's always peaceful. I love this as they're throwing cinder blocks off highway overpasses at ICE and police officers. I love the fact that they're shooting fireworks at people. I just love the fact that they're going out to Walmart and someone's delivering these gas masks that you can buy at Walmart for $30. So if there's tear gas being used, they'll be okay. They don't stop rubber bullets now, do they? And now all the Democrats and Gavin Newsom are suing Trump because of the fact that he's circumvented the power by using the National Guards and bringing in the Marines. The Marines aren't even there yet. The 600-700 Marines that they're going to deploy aren't even in LA yet. So you're pursuing for something that hasn't happened. Now, if you go back into history, go back into the 60s, which when we had these riots and it was a Democratic president and Republican governor and the Democratic president deployed troops. Well, you have something that we like to refer to in legalese as precedent. But that's not what this is about. This is about control. This is about creating an issue. The only problem this is with the Democratic Party, this is not an 80-20 issue. This is like a 95-5 issue. You come in here to be part of this country and your first thought process is, well, I'm going to riot because I'm being thrown out because I'm acting like a douche and I shouldn't be here anyway. So I'm going to riot and I'm going to wave the flag of the country that I'm being politically persecuted allegedly from. Yeah, this stuff just doesn't make sense, does it, guys? It really doesn't, because you watch this and you're like, how can the Democrats be on the wrong side of this? It's like 100. They had the bill that basically condemned the anti-Semitic attack in Colorado. 118 Democrats voted against it. They did not want to condemn or put themselves on record condemning anti-Semitism. They may never win another. You know what? I'm happy as a political conservative. Or I should say I'm a fiscal conservative. I'm happy because of the fact that the Democrats are just so fucking stupid and they're on the wrong side of everything. It's awesome. But I feel bad for the people that literally came here legally and are being persecuted by certain people because of the fact that they literally came here the right way, but they're being lumped in with these agitators. And there are people that do come through the port of entries. They are people that file the proper way, file an asylum claim. There are these people that do that. But the problem is they're being lumped in with these other fucking idiots. It just kind of makes you cringe a little bit, and it kind of makes you just wonder. And I mean, like I said, I don't know what the hell the left is thinking. And I hope to God that there's talk already about protests in other cities. Listen, you're here illegally, you're a criminal, and you need to be removed. And we have the citizens and the illegal immigrants attacking ICE agents. I'm going to give you a little warning here. You have 700 combat Marines 3 days away from coming into LA. Give you a little warning there, people. You better watch out. You better not riot, because here comes the United States Marines. Yeah, this is going to end, and it's going to end quick. You know what should end quick is Disney. You had the fiasco with Snow White and the, I guess the entire wokeism of that entire story. So now what they've done is they redid Lilo and Stitch. They did the live action remake of Lilo and Stitch because you have to do these things. I don't know why, but you have to do these things. You have to have these live action remakes of all these classics because you need to fuck them up. Now, if you haven't seen the film, I'm going to tell you now to sign off because of the fact that I don't want you to hear the ending because they changed the story about Lilo and Stitch. Now, I watch movies. I don't watch television. I can't tell you about Game of Thrones. I can't tell you about Sopranos. I can't tell you about Breaking Bad. I can't tell you about any about that shit because I watch movies and it pisses my wife off all the time because I'm always watching a movie. I would rather watch a movie that was 30 years old than watch anything that I see on television. So I consider Lilo and Stitch probably one of my top 10 selections in reference to my film genre, or my favorites, I should say. I should rephrase that. And only because of the story, and also I'm an Elvis fan, so that's all I always get a kick out of it. But the story is of Ohana, which is family, which means nobody gets left behind, no matter how bad you are. And this whole story, they had to do the live action remake. And what they did in the live action remake, they kind of made it more of a destruction vehicle for Stitch. Yeah, he was destructive in the first film, but this is out of control. And this is used basically just for laughs. And what happened was they've taken the segment of David, who was the potential boyfriend of what's her name? I can't think of her name. We'll say the sister until I can think of her name. They've taken that character and basically kind of just pared it down a little bit, and they've added a new character, which is his grandmother, which basically she lives across the street from Lilo and Nani. Nani, there we go, lives across the street from Lilo and Nani, and she becomes the motherly figure after the parents pass, after the parents die in the car accident. She is the motherly figure for these children, so they're never really truly alone. Now, you got to remember, the whole story, again, is about Ohana, is about family, is about that Hawaiian tradition. So what they did, what their thought process was, we're going to do something totally different. We want this story to be about Nani and her ability to invest in herself, her ability to escape what happened to her parents and to escape her little sister, Lilo. Because what she wants to do is she wants to attend the University of California, San Diego, which is, of course, on the mainland, to study marine biology. So what she does is, Nani that is, she relinquishes her guardianship to David and the grandmother, allowing Lilo to stay in Hawaii. So that's always what we'd like to read. So she can go off and live her dream. Now they're saying, of course, she's doing this with Lilo's blessing, but she is basically destroying the spirit of Ohana so she can go and live her dream. What about her sister's dream, whose parents were just killed in a car accident not too long ago? And I love it because the director says, well, you can't please everybody. we can't please everybody with our ending. You know, that's okay. Now listen, this movie's going to make a bazillion. This movie's going to make $1 billion. They're going to make, they are going to just, they're going to milk this. There's going to be sequels. There's going to be everything else going on. But again, like I said, if you take the underlying current of the movie, and you take a look at and you take a look at how they broke the ending, this guy is basically saying, well, you know what? You can't please everybody. And that's what kills me. He goes, I've had some time to think about it. I don't think that's a fair amount of people who are dunking on the premise, but have actually not seen the movie and have written me off with stuff that is clearly wrong. They got to beat the beats of the stories wrong. But when you see it, doesn't feel that way. You see the intent of actual filmmaking. No, the intent was to tell a story. Filmmaking is to tell a story. You are taking a part of the Hawaiian culture in Ohana, and you are saying, it's okay. You can abandon your kid sister and go off to the mainland. And I love it because then he tries the preferences. Neighbors and church groups and aunties and uncles, all these people would step in. That's just Hawaii that I know. Okay, but that's not the premise of the story. The premise of the entire story was the fact that they were a family and nobody got left behind. That's what the story is. People do. And I love it because he says, you want me to tell you a story about honest and about what it means to lose everything and still find a way forward? People do get left behind, like what Nani says. And that is, and what it's incumbent upon the community to make sure they aren't forgotten. Oh, dear Lord, I hate millennials sometimes because of the fact that they could take a wet dream and fuck it up. How hard is it to keep the premise of the story and then to sit there and backtrack and tell people, well, people didn't actually see it. That's why they're complaining. No, maybe it's because people have seen it and you're a douchebag. Maybe you should forget about Ohana and be left alone or left behind on your own. Oh, we're going to get back into swinging things and making videos and podcasts. We have, like Ohana, it's the summer, so the kids are home. So I put them all in fucking summer camp. Because they need to be left behind. No, I didn't. They're all somewhere roaming around the house. They're all here because we don't leave our kids and just dump our kids. You know what? It's like when they find Stitch in the pound. I don't take my kids to the pound just because it's, it's not convenient for my life. It's a great way to ruin a wonderful story. Oh, all right, everyone. We're going to make sure we have some more consistent content. And as always, like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. This is Tim. This is the Mad Ramblings of a Gen Xer, and I'm out of here.